Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Determined to Praise. I have my friend Kamara with me here today. She's the person I'm interviewing for today's video. I pray that you guys are having a blessed week, that you guys enjoyed last week's video, that you guys continue to like, share, subscribe. Please keep on enjoying the videos that are being posted. I hope that you guys are having a great week, that you're having a great day. And so we're going to just jump right into the video. So I titled the series this month, Your Walk with Christ.
Okay.
So the first question I have written down today is, what was the thing that made you come to God?
Okay. Well, in all honesty, like I was one of the ones that kind of grew up in church.
Mm-hmm.
So, church was like birthed in me regardless. But I think that me committing to God actually started probably when I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
But really when I came back to college is when I kind of developed my own personal relationship with God. Like
Right.
despite the church or despite my family.
Mm-hmm.
And a big part of that was just, God's consistency and him being so dependable, especially when I kind of had lived a life of like, instability,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And being in college, you always broke,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But, despite the fact that I had backslid, like God was still faithful. He still, opened doors for me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had come back and, decided to give my life back to God, it was very easy to stick with him because I just remember everything he had done for me, up until that point. So that was like the biggest thing.
Okay. Then, well, you kind of answered the second question because the
Oh,
next question is, um, what made you stay? Because
right.
a lot of people will be in church and then leave and then come back, and then some people stick it out and stay, and some people are like they go back and forth.
Yeah.
So what was the thing that made you stay?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much the consistency. And you know what? I like that you said that you were in church your whole life, but you kind of learned God for yourself, because I tell people all the time, even on this YouTube page,
Yeah.
when I'm doing testimonies or have other people have testimonies, I always say, like, I can tell you all day long how good God is, but you will never get it until you have your own personal
Yeah, you
relationship
gotta
with Him
experience
and
it.
you learn it for yourself, because then you can go, oh my God, I didn't. Because we know God is capable of anything, but then when you actually see that anything,
Right, right,
it's
right.
really truly truly amazing.
Yeah.
So I think that was great. So the next question is, how do you feel following God?
Okay. To be perfectly honest, most of the time I feel very confused. And I know confusion is not of God, so it's definitely something that I pray about all the time. But I think, like, like I said, I grew up in church and different things. I'm not always sure of the path God has me on.
Yeah.
I'm not always sure of, like, He put a lot in me. Like, I used to songwrite, I used to sing, I used to play the keyboard, I used to, it's like all this stuff.
Wow.
But, like, me personally, like, I've never had the desire to be very up front and in people's faces. I'm very like in a backseat kind of person. So, lately it's just been like this, it's been very confusing because while I want God to use everything He put in me, on the other side of that, like, is it gonna happen organically? Like, am I pushing myself or are you pushing me? Like, what's happening? So I'm in a very confusing place right now following God. Like, just trying to figure out exactly what the next move is, like what's going on, and that's not God's fault. I think it's just mostly me, like, because I like to know.
Right.
Like, I like to see the plan.
Yes.
And I can't see it.
No,
So,
I understand completely, because even with me starting this YouTube page, I don't know, I just had a feeling. I always get like a feeling like, okay, this is what God wants. But I'm never happy about that feeling, because majority of the time it's something that's not. I'm like you said, I like being in the back. I don't like being seen.
Absolutely.
The praise dancing thing.
Yeah.
I promise you, when my first time doing it, I just figured, okay, I'm gonna just do it this one time. I'm gonna be good. When I started seeing the schedule and me on it every month, I'm like, Lord, what is this? It was not. I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't even realize when I stepped into it, because see, God's yeses sometimes are never what we assume that they're going to continuously be. Yeah. So that yes to do that one praise dance, I had no idea what it was turned into, what it was leading to. Right. So it was just like, oh my goodness, I was not ready for this. I was not ready for it. But had I not did it, I wouldn't be where I am now, because I've learned so much through the whole praise dancing thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome.
The next question is, okay, when you weren't following God, how did you feel?
Okay. So to be honest, like, I kind of go back and forth about that. I think that when I did backslide, it was a time when I was a little bit more confident in myself. And I don't think it's because I wasn't following God. I think it's just because I had taken space away from the church. You know, the church, like when you grow up in church, that's your identity.
Yeah.
So like every move you make, it's like it's about the church, you know, which is what I appreciate about DLD, because you know it's more about ministry than the church itself.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to make that distinction until I joined DLD, and it wasn't until I backslid where I can kind of see the separation. Like there's a difference between I'm doing it for the church and I'm doing it for ministry.
Yeah.
But when I wasn't following God, I think that it gave me some time to recognize who I was and what my faults were.
Yeah.
So that when I did come back to God, I knew what to pray about. You know, because you get so caught up in church sometimes that you really don't see yourself.
Yeah.
All you see is your works.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes. So I think that it gave me a chance to kind of see what my faults were, what my insecurities were, you know, what I was hiding behind, what my fears were. So when I did come back to God, I knew exactly what to pray about, exactly, you know, what to allow him to deal with. So, you know, I don't know. That's what it is. I don't know.
Okay. So the next question is, who is God to you?
Okay, so to me, more than anything, I think God is a father. You know, like I, you know, definitely appreciate that connection that I have to God. As far as I don't see him as a hand, I don't see him as, you know, somebody that's, you know, like gonna give me whatever I want.
Yeah.
You know, he's there for me, you know, at very emotional times when I'm very lonely, very fearful. He's always been dependable, you know, like I think it sometimes it goes beyond like us just going to God for things we need. You know, there are things we need inwardly, you know, like healing that needs to happen, you know, peace that needs to happen. And like I appreciate God the Father because like he never fails to meet those needs for me. You know, so yeah, that's what I love the most about God. He knows how to father you, take care of you, you know.
Yes.
So
what has changed about you during your journey?
What has changed about me? Well, like I said, like I did go through a little bit of a healing journey, especially going from my old church to DLD. I'm still going through a healing journey. It definitely is some things that I need to let go from, you know, just the past in general, and not just like, you know, from the church itself, but just like in general, just need to allow God to continue to heal me, because you know sometimes you don't realize it, but when you go through things, you start to live your life so it doesn't happen anymore. But you end up missing out on a lot of stuff because you're trying to avoid the past mistakes, you know. So I think like, you know, as of right now, like that's kind of where I am, as far as just kind of letting God deal with me, heal me, and you know, take me on the path he wants me on. So, yeah.
Okay, and the last question is, what is your favorite thing about God?
Okay. What's my favorite thing about God? Well, like, you know, I was just, you know, driving in a car just from service, and I think that my favorite thing has to be the fact that he has really kept me. You know, even in situations that I put myself in, situations I didn't put myself in, things that could have been really bad. He's really kept me. Car accidents, he kept me. Even my own health, he's kept me. Like I haven't had any major health problems, like despite the fact that I don't like treat my body right. You know, like he's just been a keeper. You know, throughout my whole life, I don't ever remember going through something that was so tragic, that he has not absolutely shielded me from, things that could have been absolutely horrible. So I appreciate and I thank God for just being a keeper for me. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the questions that I have. I really appreciate you for, you know, agreeing to do this.
No problem.
I really pray that you guys enjoyed this video, that it just gives you some kind of clarity, some kind of understanding, maybe just a new light on who God is and what he's capable of doing. I pray that you guys just continue to like, share, subscribe. Please reach out if you have any other questions. Please comment on this video, or if there's anything that you would like to do, if you would like to be interviewed for any type of questions, you can also comment below as well. I just pray that you guys enjoy this and that you guys have a great day. Bye.
Bye.